Hello and welcome to EPIC39 here at Wolverhampton. We have got a lovely view of Wolverhampton Racecourse. We are EPIC39, powered by Intel with our sponsors MSI, Overclockers and Draytech. So we are going to be here casting the Valorant group stages. We have got Control Esports versus Yari Esports for our opening match today here. And I am one of your casters, Panda Richie, and I'm joined by my lovely co-caster, Mido.
Hi,
Give
Panda.
us an introduction.
I'm Mido, and today, we're going to be co-casting with Panda for our first game of Valorant.
It's going to be very interesting. It's going to be one to watch. This is one of the more anticipated games. So a little bit of information of some of the teams. So I was speaking to Pablo, the assistant coach, yesterday. He's also actually going to be playing in today's tournament. So Control Esports coming into this game. They are a bit of a ragtag team of basically content creators and a bit of a mixed team with obviously Pablo, their coach, coming in as like a step in as their fifth member. So it's going to be very interesting to see how it plays. Yari Esports as well. They are also mixing for the tournament. So I think every single team that we are going to be seeing today, they're all mixers, so there's no consistent roster throughout this entire tournament. So Pablo did say himself he wanted some Zoomers on the team to carry him. And a bit of an interesting fact, Tiny, one of their players, is actually going over to Canada at the end of August to play in the Collegiate League, so he's looking to probably go on into the NA circuit very soon. So we have got 2 minutes until the game starts, so we have got a little bit of time to squeeze out a little bit of information. But yeah, Yari Esports, apparently they're saying that Control is the one to look out for because of Pablo. How much of that is all seriousness, I do not know, unfortunately, so I couldn't give you the real answer.
Just have to find out.
They are probably keeping whoever they want a target on their backs to just be kept behind closed doors. But I'm very looking forward to it. So Haven is going to be the map that we are going to be going to. So that was the map that is going to be picked. It is going to be a best of one. All the games today are going to be best of ones because we are in the group stages. With only 7 Valorant teams going in today, it just makes sense to just do best of ones. No point dragging it all the way out because we will be here for a very long time. So Mido, tell us what do you think for composition wise? How do you think they're going to be playing it? What do you think is the more ideal play style for Haven?
Well, today, because we're starting on Haven, probably some good strong picks would be Killjoy maybe as a Sentinel, who's kind of replaced Chamber since he's been nerfed, even though he's been buffed up a little bit since then. He's still not really finding himself in the competitive meta too much. Breach is always a solid pick for Haven, fantastic initiator to get you onto that site. And Omen has, he's kind of established himself as the staple controller for Haven, even though we might see an Astra maybe if some teams
might see a bit of variation depending on if some of the players feel a bit, a bit spicy with their picks today. So it'll be very interesting. So, I'd say we're ready to just go straight in. I mean, don't want to dilly-dally. I mean, the players have been waiting in the lobbies for long enough. Let's just get straight into the game when they are ready. So, while we're waiting for the lobby, getting started, we're going to be going into agent select. So this is where Mido, your voice of reason, is going to be coming into play to see if any of the agents are going to be picking. Yeah, instantly the Breach, Killjoy, and the Omen being hovered.
Straight away, that Breach lock.
Yes.
And the Killjoy lock.
Yeah, exactly. So it's going to be looking pretty pretty just standard stuff. Yeah, Sova, Jet. I mean, I'd say Control Esports, they're just picking pretty standard picks. Over on the side of Yari though, we have got a Yoru and a Phoenix being hovered. Now I don't know if they're actually going to end up locking this in, but if they do, we're going to be opening up with a very interesting game. So, I mean, Phoenix and Yoru never played at all in the competitive scene. It's pretty standard, pretty self-explanatory as to why.
I'm really hoping we do get see that Yoru pick. If they lock it in, I'm really hoping too. It would be great fun to cast a Yoru game. It's just something you never get to do. But on the side of Control, we've got the Omen, Killjoy, the Jet, Breach, hovering the Sova as well. That's extremely sort of solid comp to see on Haven. And it looks like it's all virtually mirrored on the other side, other than the Yoru, which hasn't quite been locked in yet, but hopefully we're seeing it.
Yeah, I mean, if...
Choose your agent.
I mean, they are running without a controller, but they are running without double initiator, so they can disrupt. No, there's the Omen,
There goes the Yoru.
Well,
fun and games ruined.
Yeah, it's just, okay. It was short-lived, but it's a mirror composition for both sides, so pretty standard stuff. I mean, I'm not too surprised, but hey, there is a prize pool on the line, so you don't want to be messing around too much. But we are going to be going into our very first game of the tournament. So very, very excited. So before we get into the bye phase, who do you think is going to be taking this first map?
I think it's probably in favor of Control.
Okay, okay. Yeah, I mean, like, on paper, I would probably maybe say the same thing. I mean, both, like, all teams were saying Yari was one of the contenders to look out for. So, I mean, if you're going for Control, I'll go for Yari.
Yeah, let's keep it spicy. Let's keep it
exactly,
interesting.
exactly. So, but that being said, when I was doing a little bit of a recon yesterday amongst all the teams, majority of the teams did say that any team could upset any team. So, despite that, there are some clear like teams in this competition that have more of a popular vote in terms of who's would be winning. It's all up for debate, to be honest.
Yeah.
So that's probably the best outcome that we could have heard going in, because we always want to just have something exciting. So while we are waiting for the lobby to load up, I'm just thinking. I mean, now that I found out information on Tiny, I'm going to be keeping my eye on him, because if he is going to be heading over to NA to play in Collegiate, he's got to be stepping up. He's got to be showing his mark, making his mark on what probably is going to be his last land. So going into the bye phase, Control over on attack. So I think, just looking over just on the minimap, I think we are looking. It's probably going to be going for a seaside push. I mean, is that probably the best way that you would go for, like, on the
Yeah, it's typical. Most pistol rounds on Haven start with a C or an A. Rarely you see a team push that B site, unless maybe they've got like a Sage to block it off, but it's so hard to take B without getting a few picks first.
Exactly, yeah, and I think, to be honest, it looks like Yari, they've got a pretty good read, because you can see the majority of their members are stacking over on the C side, so we have got the Killjoy and the Jet pushing up over into the entrance of Long. Setting out the smokes, and then, yeah, 5-man push. Oh, and what a pick from Sophie. Getting a kill, and Yanto getting a kill as well, so it's all of a sudden a 3v5 situation, and then Pablo getting a kill through the smoke, thanks to that recon bolt, and Bennett throwing a few shots through the smoke as well. But we can see Walter is just hanging back over on the B side, just chilling out. Now it's all of a sudden just come to a sudden halt. Now, with this anticipation, it looks like some of the members from Yari Esports, they're starting to rotate over just in shadows traveling. But we can see that Control, they are just holding their horses, they are just sitting there, just playing patiently, but we can see that they are slowly starting to move around.
Not ready yet.
Making the way over into courtyard, and Bennett is ready and waiting by doors. If anyone decides to just sneakily approach in as quiet as a mouse. But I think Pablo's got a read on that, maybe anticipating that someone is going to be there. So it's looked like they're going to be starting to prep some utility. And ooh, Tyler going into the line and just gets completely
One
taken out.
enemy
And
remaining.
oh, Sophie gets the kill on
Spike
Pablo.
down
Now
mid.
it's a 1v4, 1v3.
30 seconds left.
That is it. That is the round sorted. So yeah, Sophie getting the final kill onto Aki. There wasn't much that Aki could have done in that situation. 1v3, and then that's all she wrote. And now Yari, they're going into a force buy, going into the second round.
That was very well played from Yari there. Just they had 3 stacked on C, completely shutting down that push from Control straight away with that first pick from Sophie. Just did a nice little jiggle, 1 tap with the Ghost there, just to start off that defense nice and strong. And Control just couldn't find their footing, they couldn't push back, they just got absolutely shut down by the util. Took a bit too much time waiting around, and then by the time they'd rotated back round to try and get a hit through Garage, they just couldn't find it.
Yeah, no, they couldn't. I mean, like you said, with that stacking early on, it just completely halted the momentum that Control was trying to get. But it's looking like they're going to be going for a B push. Yeah, I mean, B is pretty open right now. We got both members, the Breach as well as Yoma, just holding Link. Yeah, we've got Daki there making his way through. Oh, it just gets completely one-tapped by Henny. What a lovely shot, and then Bennett is going to get blinded, trying to throw a few shots out, trying to see if they connect. But Bennett takes that one. Pablo there with the trade. Now the aftershock completely denying Sophie's entrance through C Link, and now he has planted the spike. Brianto is there holding the angle as Pablo decides to walk into the crosshair. Sophie throwing a few shots, manages to connect. Sarah and Sophie, the whiffs come out, but Sophie comes out on top, and then you have Control. Aki there holding God. Oh, and it's all up to Aki. Whiffs one, gets the connects, and then unfortunately for Aki falls down. Again, 1v3 situation, not much that they could have done, and then Yari Esports, they get themselves round number 2.
It was strong push from Control there to even take the site. It was a great little second round for them there, being able to take away 3 guns, leading leading Yari into a slightly weaker bonus round. Now they've managed to take some money away from them. There was a couple fights going on in different places. They managed to even push them back into A-Link, and it was Sophie who managed to take one out in Garage.
Yeah, and honestly, like it was looking really good for Control, but then all of a sudden the momentum just switched over to Yari as they started just getting those picks with the gun advantage. But going in, look, we 5 rifles versus like 2 sheriffs and half buys for the majority of Yari. But it's looking like it's going to be a quick initiation over onto a long. But we see multiple members just making their way through into Suez. But oh, we have Yari making the way on the flank, but they know that the turret is there, and they've just completely blocked it with a dark cover. But Aki anticipates it and gets 2, gets 3! Bennett was there for the kill onto Sarah, but gets traded out, and that's a lovely 3k for Aki there. And now this just gives Control the complete opportunity to just run straight onto site and get that spike planted. Pablo holding the flank, anticipating if anyone's coming through long, and yeah, the few shots coming out from Sophie, not able to fully connect. Pablo is going to have to just quickly use that shrouded step to get out of the nanoswarm. Walty making his way through the dark cover, throwing out the owl drone just to try and get a bit of information. He just gets shut down completely. Aki gets 4. Can he make it? 1 more for the ace. He's throwing out the recon dart, finds out some information. They know where they are. Control are going to be setting up to make sure that Aki gets himself the ace. Throwing out all the utility, throw the kitchen sink while Yati make sure that Aki gets all the information that he can. But it's looking like they're just going to have to go for the save. They're just going to have to back away. The ace opportunity just slipping through the fingers as Sophie makes sure that she is all well and safe, saving the guns. And that is going to be a round on the board for Control Esports.
Fantastically played from Control there, but also a really good approach from Yari. They knew that they had the gun disadvantage, so instead of just sitting on a site and waiting to die, they decided to push and flank Control on A main, smoking off the turret. But sadly, Aki was there, ready, primed with that Phantom. Took out 3 of them, completely shutting down that flank push, allowing Control to easily take the site and the round.
Yeah, I mean, it's honestly really, really smart thinking for using dark cover to cover the turret just to prevent it from like noticing it. But yeah, like you said, Aki was already like 3 steps ahead, already anticipated that they might do something like that, and was just caught them completely unawares. But it's going to be looking like it's going to be a much slower play now, as everyone is just hanging back. They're just sitting pretty, taking in the sights of Haven, just going for a nice little scenic walk, it seems. And we've got Spike being picked up now. Ianto just holding the angle though. He's going to find Tiny, but shoots him in the stomach, but Tiny's just going to quickly just give Ianto a quick dink to the forehead, and down they go. And now Sophie slowly pushing up through double doors, makes an aggressive peek, manages to get out with no health taken off their health bar, just gets out scot-free. Able to just Sarah just a little bit, but not able to just quickly close it out. Bennett holding the angle there from the top of sight. Now they do notice it. The Aldrin is going to be coming out. Dark coming out. The Cloudburst coming out, but the tail went straight into the door frame. Not going to be finding much value. In fact, it's probably much more of a bait in order to get through to Garage. It's such an aggressive push there. Paranoia coming out through on the ceiling. Now Sophie throwing out the shots. Daki finds Henny. Now it's a 4v4 situation. The spike is getting planted. Aftershock coming out. Daki is going to take a little bit of damage there. The Aldrin is going to not be able to tag anyone, unfortunately, but they do get a little bit of information now. And now all of a sudden, we have got Yari playing for the post plan. We can see that Bennett is making their way through double doors. And now it's looking like it's going to be a Garage put. It's looking like you're going to have to try to do a pincer attack through Garage as well as Link. But you can see all the members of Control are making their way down through long. They're going to set themselves up to be a shooting gallery for Yari Esports. Now the aftershot comes out. Sophie finds 1, finds 2, gets traded out. And it's a 1v2 situation. It's all up to Tiny, and the whiffs as Bennett closes out the round with a 2k. And Yari Esports slowly building up the momentum as they are starting to just whisk away with the rounds.
That was an insane round. Very well played from Yari. Starting out so strong for Control, with Tiny finding that first pick onto their duelist Yanto. Down in A sewer. Just playing it nice and slow. But eventually when they went for the hit, Yari just got backed off by the aftershock from Tiny. And then they all decided to play off-site, forced off by Yari's util. And that was just not the play, as they ended up all being wiped out.
Revealing area.
It was not. And now, yet, Walty anticipating the dark. Yanto just popping the Blaze Storm straight away, just going for an aggressive push. But yeah, we have got the rest of control. Again, they're just sitting back. Pablo playing in this nice little rut, using his dark cover as a little safety net just to see if anyone decides to push through. But they are anticipating as Aki is throwing out a few shots. Dark cover coming out. Ooh, the backside of Pablo hidden by the door frame. Literally cheeks, inches away from being spotted. And now Pablo dropping down. And now the drone comes out. Yeah, it's been spotted. Yeah, now the fault line comes through. And oh my god, the entirety of the utilities is getting thrown at thrown at Yanto as they just get completely obliterated. But that does not mean that Yari were able to take out Henny themselves. They were able to get a trade out of that, but it's a 4v3 situation where Control do have the man advantage. They're slowly making their way on to A side, but from the shadows from Bennett, putting themselves up into heaven. You can see that Tiny knows that they are there, anticipating where they're going to be appearing. Yeah, holding the angle, just making sure they're not giving Yari a single chance to breathe or for this retake. Paranoia coming out. Not able to hit anyone. Now, Flashbang coming out, and now the fault line coming out. Tiny's going to get stunned. Sophie's going to get stunned in the process, and gets the kill onto Sophie. 4v2 now. Bennett is taking some pot shots. Daki manages to find a kill in the chaos, and Sarah gets 2 kills for herself, and they are going to be closing it out. And now, gap is slowly starting to close out now as 3-2, but Yari Esports still in the lead.
Yeah, Yari started that round with an aggressive push into the A lobby. But Pavlovsky just pushing them back with that paranoia, allowing them to clear out and get those 2 picks. With a nice entry onto A side for Control. It was going to be an uphill battle for Yari to take that site.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, the opening picks at the start of the execution of their attack onto A site really helped them. Like that hour finding out where Yanto was by the boxes was huge. And speaking of Yanto, he just takes out Tiny with the operator. It's one shot, all she wrote, dashes back, and now all of a sudden the momentum is just completely stopped, and Control have to just play this a bit more strategically now. Now that they know that Yanto has an operator, they are going to have to play so much more cautiously. But we can see on the minimap, Henny making the way through into garage, getting spotted by the alarm bot, Sophie, and ready and waiting, placing the crosshair, slowly making the way into the garage. Yeah, Henny has been spotted by Walton. Shot dart coming out. Henny manages to get one before getting tagged, and that paranoia coming out onto it. Shock dart coming out again, but to of no avail. Sarah just made her way completely onto C site scot-free now that the Killjoy has been taken out. Sophie falling down. No information to be gathered. And it doesn't matter because Walty's just there. He's going to get a kill onto Sarah. That was such unfortunate timing. It was almost there. And Benny, being the little rat that they are, takes out Henny, shrouding step away just to reposition. Make sure that they're not getting themselves caught out. Aki holding the angle just to see if they are going to be
30 seconds left.
But they've just been completely moved in this 2v4 situation. I mean, the momentum just completely flipped this time around. Yari have complete control of the map. And now Control have just very little time, and Pablo gets a kill onto Bennett. Great opening kill. The recon dart coming out, going to get completely spotted, but the spike has been planted. Flashpoint coming out. Aki not able to close out, and then that is all she wrote. Yanto getting the final kill onto Pablo, and then 4-2. Once more, 2-round deficit to Control as Yari take the lead.
I think we could be seeing a little bit of a competition between Yanto and Tiny here, with the first pick of the round last couple of rounds back going to Tiny on that A sewer, and now complete inverse. Yanto ready and waiting for Tiny's peak with that operator there. Just to put the tide in Yari's favour.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, yeah, so I think it's like you're saying. I think Yanto and Tiny, I think they're just having a little bit of an ego battle down in the sewers. But looks like might be going to a tech pause, I think, as it seems. But we will be, yeah, we're going into a tech pause now. So while we're waiting for the tech issues to be resolved, I mean, so far, honestly, from what we've been seeing, it's actually been pretty neck and neck. I mean, the momentum for both sides, like, it kind of like flips either way. There have been some rounds where Yari Esports just are complete, like, dominating over Control. I mean, especially in that last round, they had complete control. I think with Ianto being on that operator, that opening pick onto Tiny just had a huge impact on what they were able to do. Because like you said, Breach is such a good agent here on Haven that the fact that they've lost out on so much utility is just detrimental.
Yeah, definitely. I think we've seen a fantastic use of utility from Sophie, just managing to keep the site clear, using a turret and an alarm bot to make sure that she's letting her team know as soon as there's any sort of contact, getting great rotations, and has been finding some great success with kills as well.
Yes, they have indeed. Like Sophie and Bennett have really been putting in the work. They have been, like, in fact, the stars of the show. I know we've been like saying a fair bit about Ianto and their like pick potential, but Sophie and Bennett are the bastions for Yari right now, and they are really showing up. I mean, Bennett was able to get their ultimate really early on, able to help them to rotate all the way through to Heaven, but obviously it came to of no avail. But they are doing really, really well, and looks like we are going to be going back in. So it looks like on the mini, I think Aki ended up disconnecting, so I think we're going into another tech pause. Yep, we are going to be going into another tech pause. I think one of the members of Control ended up DCing. We don't know how, don't know why, don't know where, but it's happened at 0 seconds of the buy phase. So the second we get back in, it's all systems go. So everyone's going to have to sit tight, sit pretty. I mean, stay hydrated. I mean, today's not as hot as it has been in the UK, but it does not mean that you should squander yourself on any water at any point. So actually, speak on that, I'm going to hydrate myself.
So yeah, looking to, in the next few rounds, we're probably going to get a few ults. I definitely think Sophie's going to be saving that lockdown for once they know Aki's Hunter's Fury has been used, because that's one to definitely look out for. It's an easy counter towards a Killjoy ult. That lockdown being so hard to destroy now after it got buffed. I know it's had a little change, but still that Hunter's Fury is the best way to take it out.
Yes, yeah, I mean, yeah, like you said, with the buffs, I mean, it's even more important to get rid of that Killjoy. And if you have to sacrifice an ultimate for an ultimate, I mean, so be it. But yeah, so going into the next like couple of rounds, it's going to be a bit more of a mind games. Now that the ultimates are going to start coming online, teams are going to have to be a bit more cautious of how they're going to be playing, because they don't want to be getting into circumstances where they're just going to be throwing away rounds just because they've just miscommunicated with each other. Like, keeping a track of the ultimates is going to be really, really crucial. So I think, like you said, it's either going to be Sophie's going to be looking to just wait out for the Hunter's Fury to be used first, or it's going to be a situation where they need that lockdown to be popped down, and then they might just end up having to sacrifice it to get rid of that Hunter's Fury, but who knows.
Potentially waiting to take him out before
exactly
they can even pop it. Because, yeah, it's all just a game of back and forth with those rock, paper, scissors with those ults.
Exactly. Like, if going into this next round when we get back from the tech pause, if they take out Aki, it's going to be absolutely huge, and it puts Yari in such a strong position to win that next round. But who knows? I mean, even if they have the ultimates online, I mean, whoever just comes out on top at the end, it's anyone's game, really.
Definitely.
But well, wait, how are you, Mido?
Good, thank you.
That's good. I mean,
I'm
like,
good. How are you?
Good. I'm doing very well, thank you.
Yeah.
I'm very excited to be casting today.
Yeah, no, it's great.
I mean, we like, honestly, like, despite how like little teams we have, it's such a good lineup. Like, we've got a really like I'd say like a well-rounded like roster.
Yeah.
Like, in all honesty, like, it's such a like I said, like, it's quality over quantity, I would say.
Yeah, they're going to be fun games.
They're going to be
definitely
very
fun games.
100%.
Yeah, lots of people to keep an eye out on, and all teams of friends mixed together, so it's all just going to be a good time, and everyone's going to have
it's
great
going
fun.
to be good. Yeah, because a lot of the people like that are attending today, a lot of them just know each other, just like through like connections and everything. So everyone just knows one another. So it's just, I think, even though there's a prize pool online, you know, there's stakes to be won. But I think at the end of the day, I think everyone's just going to enjoy like each other's company and just have a bit of fun.
Exactly.
But company and fun does not matter when you are up against each other. So back into the game, Yari Esports have got the lead. They are looking to take it all the way, but Control Esports are the hurdle that they need to try and overcome, and vice versa. So they're looking They're looking to get through, but I think, yeah, we're still going through. Yeah, there's a countdown, so we are going to be going straight into the game now. Now we have got Henny popping that blade, so it doesn't even matter because a kunai just gave Yanto a free haircut, and Yanto got 2 kills back to back. Down goes Pablo, and this is absolutely huge. The flashpoint coming out. Tiny managed to get the kill onto Sophie. One more flashpoint coming out. Yanto getting completely blinded, but it does not matter because Control are not pushing. They are just holding themselves. They have trapped themselves like rats in a cage as Yanto tries to go for a third, not able to get it. Sarah getting the kill onto Yanto, and then Bennett on the flank takes out Sarah, and then Aki was there for the trade, and now it's a 2v2 situation all of a sudden. I mean, those picks from Yanto were so crucial, but it's to of no avail, and now Control have an opportunity. They are going to go for the rotate. We can see that Yari are holding A link going onto the back of A site as well onto B site, but looking at the minimap, we can see that Control, they're making their way down C long. Recon Dart getting used just to try and clear out site. Fault line coming out. No one is going to get stunned, and now this just gives Control the green light to plant. Now the Recon Bolt being used from Walty just kind of wasted there over on A side. I think he should have just held onto that just a little bit longer, because then that would have given them a little bit more of an opportunity to find some more information. But we can see Daki got all of the utility, got 1 more kill, and they get themselves that Rolling Thunder, which could be huge. Like, I mean, Rolling Thunder, high cost ultimate, but in order to secure yourself a win, it's always a worthy sacrifice. But yeah, Tiny popping the Rolling Thunder themselves, and now only Daki gets caught in the Rolling Thunder. Flashpoint getting thrown out. Now the Recon Bolt throws out. Daki gets Aki. Now it's a 1v2. Tiny gonna have to go for the jiggle piece, holding a wide swing, not able to connect the shots, and then Daki just by the slither. Oh! 0.14 on the clock. Walty just in the nick of time, just holds it out. I mean, that right there, I mean, I call that a squeaky bum time moment. With
what an insane round. Wow, I can't even believe what I just saw. So we started that round off outside A main and ended it on C.
Yeah.
Yanto getting 2 fantastic picks with the op back to back. Didn't save the dash for the second one, which is really smart because they probably thought that, you know, they probably used it up. But nope, had the dash to get safely away. They lost, Sophie got taken out, and then Bennett came in for that flank, but just got removed. Yeah. So they knew that all 5 players were outside of A main. Tiny getting that refrag, and then just in that clutch, just choking at the last second, allowing Yari to get that defuse.
I know.
So close. If he managed to take out that Sova, game over and a round for Control.
100%. Yeah, I bet Yari's going to be kicking the team. Oh, this looks like it's going to be Guardians as Bennett throws out the Paranoia. Is going to take out Sarah. That Paranoia coming in clutch, and Henny manages to get onto the flank. Oh, it gets 2. What a lovely shot. Dashes back onto B side to reconvene with the groups, and Walty gets a lovely kill onto Aki. Yanto gets the kill onto Pablo as they try to peek out through the smoke. And now it's a 2v3 situation. Henny as well as Tiny, they're both on such low HP. Yanto just going to absolutely pepper Henny into the ground from Gong, and Tiny's a 1v3 situation, finding themselves in a precarious situation. Aftershock coming out onto the spike, and now they are going to take out Daki, but it is going to get put halfway. Fault line coming out. Now Henny is not going to get caught, able to sidestep, make it through the way through the Cloudburst, but Yanto is ready there, shoving a barrel down Tiny's throat, and they get themselves a nice 3k to close out the round.
Yeah, fantastic round there from Yari. Walty's use of the Hunter's Fury, like we were mentioning before, maybe about using it to counter the enemy's Killjoy, not the case. Used it to pop the ult, find the player, get the kill. And it was what the Yari needed just to be able to retake that site from such an aggressive push from Control, taking that B so fast.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, even though Yari had to kind of fall back and give Control the space, using that Hunter's Fury aggressively probably was one of the biggest reasons why they were able to take back that round, because they took out Daki. He had an ultimate online for himself as well, so he wasn't even able to play for post-ban, completely denying their ability to just completely shut down Yari's opportunity to defuse. But taking Aki out so early on was absolutely crucial. And now the game that Control are playing now is going to be more slow and steady this time. They're not going to be going for an aggressive push. They're going to be just mixing things up. And Bennett going for an aggressive push through the smoke, completely catching Sarah unawares. Sarah had a face turn towards double doors and just got completely peppered in the air, and just got completely taken out. Now Control are going once again into a 1-man deficit. There's a tag going to be coming out onto the Aldrin of Aki. Yeah, both Aldrins just met each other, just gave each other a little drive-by kiss, mwah, and then just not able to just gather any more information. But Yari, they're just holding their ground, not doing much. They're just waiting for Control to just make a move, and Pablo prepping the paranoia for a long, just in case anyone from Yari decides to push up. Bennett, here's some noise now, guys. It's going to be very, very cautious now. But Henny making a bit of noise as they're making their way on to C, throwing some bullets, but 27 seconds left on the clock, and Henny is able to find the kill on to Bennett, and now it is looking like Control are all system go. The Pistons are online. They are making their way. The fault line coming out. The Blade Storm coming out while Ianto is stunned, but Sophie's able to get the kill. And all of a sudden, the kill feed lights up green as
so embarrassing.
Yari get themselves a team ace and just close out the round so unbelievably quickly. I mean, Control didn't even have a chance to breathe, and they just got taken out.
Such an interesting round there, Panda. Henny really just trying to sell that fake at the end there. Dashing, using the cloud burst up onto Garage, and then tailwinding straight onto C. But no one bought it. Sophie was there waiting, but the rest of the team had already rotated round to A to completely shut down the attacker's push. Control couldn't do anything. As soon as they got onto the site, they were stunned with that fault line, and it was game over.
Yeah, exactly. And then Recon Bolt finding Tiny, but we do see Henny just taking quick control of Suez. Yep, holding the angle. Yep, and now Tiny is going to get marked, but Henny is going to be aggressively pushing up. And then Ianto gets the no-scope onto Henny. Oh, that's cool. That's one for the highlight reel, but unfortunately he wasn't able to get the second one, so it's not going to be as cool as he probably wanted, but hey-ho, the power of video editing is not going to stop him. Now shots are going to be thrown in and out of the sewers like the rats they are, and Sarah gets a kill onto Ianto with the Guardian. The Rolling Thunder coming out, and now they are trapped rats in a cage. As Daki's going to be making the way forward. The stun's probably going to be still up, and Tiny just gets completely caught out. And this is going to be such an aggressive push from the defender. Sarah's managed to get the refrag onto Daki. And oh, Bennett is on the flank. Gets one into the back of the skull. And now, oh, Aki gets a lovely shot with the Sheriff. Someone call... I don't know who to call. I mean, I don't know what I'm saying right now. I mean, it's just such a back and forth game. I'm just completely flabbergasted and lost for words. And now Aki is just making the way over onto Seaside, just on their lonesome, 45 HP and a dream.
30 seconds
30 seconds left. They are going to be able to get the spike planted, and now it is now going to be alerting the other members of Yari, Sophie and Walty, that the spike has been planted for C, but you can see that they are rotating through the attacker spawn, so Aki is going to be coming up onto them, but they are opting to go through courtyard, going to go through the double doors, play it safe, try not to, you know, meet up with Aki face to face. Trapping the recon bolt, not opting to go for it, just playing it very, very patiently. Now the lockdown coming out, just to try and see if they could force Aki away, but I do think this might be a wasted opening in all honesty. But oh, you know what, it doesn't even matter, because Sophie's just going to be aggressively pushing up A-long, catching Aki completely unawares, a bow out, and there's a little bit of a BM there. All good stuff, and Yari Esports, 8-2, just this momentum is like this giant wave that Yari are surfing on, and they are taking it all the way to the home stretch. It's 2 more rounds of this first half, and it is looking in completely Yari's favour.
Absolutely, Panda. There's not a lot of hope for Control right now. I feel like they're probably feeling a little... The momentum's completely gone from the start when they took back those first couple rounds. It's definitely looking in Yari's favour. 8-2, especially on Haven.
100%,
So after swapping to attack,
Revealing area.
anything can go really. It's a bit of a 50-50 map, Haven.
It is exactly. I know what you mean. So they are going to be opting to go for a C push now. Very aggressive C push. And Sarah gets a lovely opening frag onto Bennett there. And Henny gets Ianto, their shoulder, and just the tip of their face was just poking out. And that's all they needed in order to take them out. And now all of a sudden, Yari just find themselves on the back foot. I mean, they're the ones that were in control normally, but all of a sudden, the positions have flipped. And now they are going to be having to play for a retake, and Pablo taking out Daki, just a crossfire, just completely set up. Daki didn't even have a chance of getting out there alive, even if they took one out. Now Sophie on the flank, looking like they're going to try to do a pincer attack, but Sarah is there, not able to get the shots, but Tiny is able to get Walty, and what a wide swing from Sarah, just completely staring Sophie in the face before they just put a bullet into their noggin. And then one more round, And it could be an 8-4, or it could be the dreaded 9-3 that we could be seeing.
What a run. I think it... You know what? I don't think it will be. If you're taking a look at Control, that was some absolute confidence from them. Just storming onto C. Didn't even use a single ult. Just left them with 4, if not maybe 5 ults for the final round. I'd say Control in a fantastic position there. Henny just dashing in straight to the back. Finding those picks. Absolutely crucial.
Yes, yeah, and I think if I was Control right now, I would try be playing to see if we can get Tiny's ultimate up. Ooh, Tiny going for an aggressive push there, seeing Ianto. But like you said, with 4 ultimates up, they have got a lot of toys in their prime to play with. And there is the lockdown coming out straight away. Walty throwing out the shotgun, trying to catch anyone making the way through. So Walty, going to get taken out. Kunai between the eyes. It's all they're going to need. And now we have got Bennett popping from the shadows to get into heaven. And Sophie just doing a complete wraparound of attacker spawn, completely shafting Pablo in the back there, completely catching him unawares, and Ianto gets a kill onto Aki. It's probably a kill that Aki probably could have gotten. And now Sophie going to get stunned. Multiple members there are going to get stunned, but Tiny is just, in fact, just going to get completely straight out. Aftershock after aftershock coming out from both sides, and it's just going to be a complete cluster of utility down A long. And now the kunais are thrown out and completely whiffing. Sophie getting the kill on to Henny. Sarah gets one, and now it's a 1v3, and there it is, the dreaded 9-3. I mean, they had Control had utility advantage as well as the ultimate advantage all the way, but Yari still finding themselves coming out on top.
Yes, they did. Even though Control had all those ults at their disposal, popping the Blade Storm and then using that lockdown as well to take the site, it just wasn't enough as Yari just perfectly executed retake there. Just taking their time, finding the pick, not overcommitting. They got flashed, they didn't peek, they didn't want to give them any sliver of hope that they would lose any members for that retake, and they played it perfectly.
Yeah, they played it really, really well. I mean, like, despite multiple members getting stunned and flashed down A long, they didn't even give Tiny a single room to breathe. Like, even though he had the opportunity to take out multiple members, just with the amount of utility being thrown out from both sides, it didn't even give him any breathing room, as well as the rest of Control. So, Control, they are finding themselves on the back foot. It is 9-3, so Yari, 4 more rounds to close it all out. So, Control, they do have a bit of a mountain to climb, and that mountain is Yari Esports. As we are looking like we're going to be going for an aggressive push onto C-side. Ianto getting on top of boxes using the updraft and the tailwind. Sarah just having to just give up some space. And Sophie holding back in spawn, just anticipating the flank, and they just get a lovely 2k. Patience is a virtue, and it paid off, but you know what? A bullet to the forehead doesn't even matter, because Aki's just going to take out Sophie, and now the aftershock coming out, just completely forcing out the members of Control to not even get into the garage as Ianto gets a kill onto Aki. And then the whiffs coming out from both sides, Aki closing out, Pablo in a 1v3, and it doesn't even matter because Bennett is just there to close out the round. And the rounds are starting to just slip through the fingers of Control more and more as the round goes on. They start off looking good, but it just slowly slips out of their fingers.
Yeah, what a round from Yari. Sophie playing that perfectly. What a great lurk. Sitting in the spawn instead. Getting that great off angle with, yeah, Aki and Sarah's frags. Just, they're not expecting it entirely.
Wow, that was a lovely
even though Aki does find the kill on Sophie there, it's not enough because the rest of Yari have repositioned themselves in garage, completely waiting for that flank push to come back through.
Exactly, yeah, I mean, they read the play, like, even though Aki, like you said, was able to capitalize off the refrag, but Yari had complete control. Sophie getting taken out by Aki, and then Walty is there for the refag. Henny with the martial shot, ooh, nearly clipping the forehead of Ianto, but neither Jet is going to be finding their connection now. Kill just heard, going to get taken out. Carbus going into the top of a window there just to stop. Oh, Ianto gets a lovely shot onto Henny on the top of box there. Now, utility from Sarah just getting popped. Nanoswarm as well as the alarm bot going off. Spike is going to get planted. See Bennett taking out Pablo. Pablo had a read on the flank, but it doesn't even matter. And then Sarah getting the refrag, picking up the Spectre, 2v3. Now, Control, they do have an opportunity to win this retake. Flashpoint comes out, yep, there's one. They need 2 more. Now another flashpoint comes out. Oh, there it is. Now they are. Now it's a 1v1 situation. Now it's all up to Tiny. Stinger versus Marshall. The aftershock has to be used. He has to get onto the spike right now. Going for the fake. Ianto is going to peek, and he gets it. He gets a 3K. He closes out the round. And now Control are just one round up the rung of this mighty ladder they need to climb in order to get themselves back, catching up to Yari Esports.
It's the first round of many for Control. As there's fights all over the map happening there. We're starting going through B all the way around to C, with team members just dropping like flies, but Tiny managing to use his util beautifully there. Flashpoint to get a kill, flashpoint again to get a kill through the box, and the aftershock to just push Ianto off the spot and get that advantage on the spike.
Yeah, it was really, really well played by Tiny. I don't think Tiny could have played that any more perfectly. I think any misstep during any of that play
Absolutely
cost him the round. And he getting a quick, like, high position up there on the box of A long. Now Tiny making an aggressive push into Suez. Managed to get one, gets two. Can he get three? No, Ianto is there to get the refrag. Almost able to connect the bullets, but Ianto just had enough. Didn't want any more of his teammates falling, and he just put a stop to it. Now Henny holding the angle there onto Suez, just completely repositioning himself, but I think Ianto knows. They know, they've heard the updraft and gets one. Bennett is there for the refrag, and now it's a 2v3 situation. Bennett is just going to have to use a strategy step to quickly make their way and rotate over to Sophie, because I think Sophie's just got a little bit of information, thinking that B site is clear, just edging around the corners just to scope out the area, try to get any form of information that they can. They did take out the alarm bot, so it does notify the rest of the members of Control. And oh, what a shot from Sarah! Quick jiggle peek with a bullet to the head is all she wrote, and it's all up to Bennett. What can they do? They are doing a little bit of a ring around the rosies down the B side, and they're going to catch completely. Sarah's completely unawares. Now it gives them an opportunity to plant the spike. A 1v2. Bennett, you've seen them before. They can do this. Throwing out the dark cover. Shrouding step over into Gong to just position themselves to just try and close off as many angles as possible, just out of range of that paranoia. The recon bolt coming out now from Aki, getting caught out, and then that's unfortunate from Bennett. They had the opportunity, but that recon bolt really did them dirty, and now Control, they're finding the rounds, and they're slowly climbing their way back up to meeting Yari.
Yeah, we had some great little moments that round. At the start, Tiny just not even using any util, just dry peeking straight into a lobby, finding two picks, getting dropped by Ianto. That doesn't matter because they took out two. And then straight back onto the B site, Sarah Frag's finding a nice little kill with the Guardian, as they've been using that quite a lot this game, finding great success with those Guardian headshots. And then at the end there, just Aki waiting, they know that they've got the spike down, and just waiting patiently for that recon dart to come back, so they can just get a scan through the smoke, not have any risks.
Exactly, yeah. But, ooh, can't see. It's looking like it's going to be a very aggressive push onto the A side, but the Rolling Thunder is there. Sophie gets the kill onto Pablo, gets another onto Henny. Tiny finds one onto Yanto, gets another. They're all able to get a third. Oh, what a lovely kill. What a one-tap from Sarah. We all know Sarah for a one-taps, but Bennett is there for the frag. 1v2. Aki. Spike has been planted. 5 HP and a dream. Owl drone, shock bolt, and now a recon bolt to them. Sees the gun barrel, but oh, shot a little bit too early. The trigger discipline wasn't there. Aki a little bit too eager, and it cost them. And now Yari Esports, 2 more rounds, and they have won their first game.
As a Bennett, just really proving themselves to be a standout player in this lobby. Just using that util perfectly, with maneuvering around, getting into fantastic positions to just find those picks so easily.
Oh yeah.
Getting that 3-piece that round, just adding to their total kills of 18. Matching their fragger, Ianto.
That they are. And now I think with this C-site push, because Ianto has got one more ult point. Yep, there it is. Blaze Storm coming out, following in with the Owl drone. Sarah gonna get caught out by this fall and gonna have to get completely pushed away. Sight giving completely to Yari. Kunai going through. They did spot Sarah going through. Ooh, not able to connect. Ianto knows that there's at least a few members there. Oh, gets a kill onto Sarah through the flashpoint. Gets another one. Gets 3! Can they get 2 more for the ace? Aki holding
Spike
the angle,
planted.
slowly edging around to see if they can deny it. But Ianto is just there maneuvering like an elusive shadow. They're hiding by box. Slowly, the momentum has just suddenly stopped. Both teams playing a bit more patiently. Ianto spots Aki there from ceiling through the juggle.
One enemy
Oh,
remaining.
Ianto gets a kill onto Pablo. They're on the way to the ace. Aggressive push. Can they make the ace? Yes, they can. Ianto with the ace, with the blaze storm closing out, and now that puts Yari Esports onto match point. What a lovely play from Ianto there. Beautifully done.
Yari taking absolute page from Control's strat book there, rushing down C-Long, taking the site so fast. Ianto popping that Blaze Storm off, picking up that orb, which was definitely the best decision they've made this game.
100%.
As they find that ace. Just headshot after headshot with those Blade Storm. Kunais was fantastic. Even finding the first pick in the smoke and then repositioning themselves again. Just backing out nice and safe. Peek again, kill. Peek again, kill. It's beautiful.
I tell you what, that is one for the highlight reel for sure. And Bennett, oh, not Bennett taking out two. So they're not able to quite get the kill with the Guardian there, the Fable Guardian that we've seen them perform so well on. And now it's looking really good for Yari Esports. Control just lost complete control of A side now. The lockdown being used, being pushed completely offside. Paranoia coming out, Henny pulling out a Blaze Storm of their own, but it doesn't even matter because Ianto is there waiting for them up in heaven, and it's all up to Aki. Every single bit of utility, every single bit of the ultimate, kitchen sink thrown into Aki's face, and that is all she wrote. Yari Esports take the first match of the day, 13-5. What a convincing victory. Congratulations to Yari.
Absolutely, well said, Panda. Complete dominance there on Haven. I mean, what else is there to say? Yeah, Control, I thought they were the favoured, but evidently not. Yari was so strong. Fantastic players all around the board. Great util usage.
Yeah, I mean, it's like you said. Yeah, I mean, there were moments where Control looked like they had it. It looked like they had it, but just slipping through the fingers.
Yeah.
All the time.
Every time. It looked like there were so many rounds there where Control would get the first pick, or they take the site, and then just, nope, retake from Yari, or, nope, back in their favour just by getting a refrag.
Exactly.
And it's just, yeah.
I think it's just those little things that like Control just need to just polish up on, I reckon. Because like their execution, getting onto site, taking the site, really well played. But I think it just looked like that post plan. It started to look just a little bit scrappy on their side because they know what they're doing to get on site. They know how to play the game, but just those little micro plays that they just need to be working on. Kind of just shot themselves in the foot with that, and I think that's where Yari Esports were getting the leg up on them. Those little moments that just swung the momentum back into Yari's favour. I think that's just where Control fell a bit short, but it is day one of the LAN. There are many more games to go, so Control might be able to find their footing and their stride going on further into the later games. So we could see a completely different Control.
Certainly, yeah.
Them. So. But yeah, no, congratulations to Yari. I mean, they had a very convincing victory. Like just from the performance alone, they played stupendously well. I mean, I probably couldn't. I definitely would not have done better myself.
I bet Ianto is absolutely chuffed right now.
100%.
First game of the day, first ace of the tournament.
Exactly. I mean, he's definitely feeling himself right now. 100%. He's brimming with confidence right now. Going into the next matches, his ego is going to be on show, and I think that is something that team's going to have to look out for. Because just from the display alone, Ianto is definitely a player to keep an eye on when going up against Yari Esports. But our next game is going to be Go to Lions versus Granny Knockers. I always pronounce their name wrong. I always feel
Gedalians?
Gedalians, that's it. Because I remember you pronouncing it correctly. I feel like that's how you pronounce it.
I think it's Gedalians.
I've always just called them Go to Lions. I feel like that's completely wrong. So I do apologise for.
I read it first as God Lions.
God Lions.
Yeah.
That would be
cool.
That would be a good name. Go to Lions, you taking notes? Might need to a little name change. Little name change. But no. Go to Lions versus Granny Knockers. I think that's going to be a very interesting game to play. So I think one of the players, I think Blaze is their duelist player. Not normally known for his duelist plays. Normally on a different role. I didn't quite catch what role he was playing. Probably that has just slipped my mind. But I do know he is playing on a duelist role. So it's going to be very interesting to see how they play.
Yeah.
But I think like going into the next match, who do you think is going to like be winning. I mean,
You know what?
You know,
I'm
or
putting
should
my
we
money on Granny Knockers.
Granny Knockers.
Granny Knockers all the way.
I think so as well. I love the name and a little bit of information. Like they normally are a charity. Like they normally do charity events for breast cancer, which is obviously a really noble cause. So we're going to be finding out if they'll be doing anything like that. But if not, I mean, they're here. And it's just really nice to have them in. So we are going to be cutting over to a break. So give ourselves a little bit of a breather. Give everyone else a little bit of a breather. So everyone at home, we are here at EPIC39, powered by Intel with our sponsors, Overclockers, MSI, and Draytech. It is going to be a fun, full day of interesting and exciting games. So do make sure you are staying in stream and keeping an eye out for all of them. We will be back for the next game very, very shortly. Stay hydrated and keep yourself safe.